Hello, students, and welcome back to class. I just want to say how impressed I am with the work that's being turned in. College is challenging. We've all got our classes to keep up with. Many of you are trying to juggle part-time jobs along with your classes. We've all got busy personal lives. Keeping everything organized is hard. You're doing a great job. Keep up the good work. We're going to make it through this semester together. In this video, we'll continue our work with fractions and mixed numbers. In number 1, we're adding. When we add mixed numbers, step 1 is to change them into improper fractions. Keep the denominator. 5 times 2 plus 1. Keep the denominator. 3 times 3 plus 2. Now I know when I add fractions, I must have a common denominator. To get my common denominator, I first check to see if 2 and 3 are consecutive numbers. Since they are, all I have to do is multiply them together to get my common denominator. Now for the numerator. What do you multiply times 2 to get 6? Is 3. Multiply the numerator by 3. What do you multiply times 3 to get 6? Is 2. We'll multiply that numerator by 2. Now keep the common denominator. Add the numerators. There's my answer as an improper fraction. Since these problems started as mixed numbers, let's change this into a mixed number. 6 goes into 55 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54. 54 from 55, that's 1 left over. Great. For number 2, let's attack it the same way. Let's make these look like improper fractions. I'll put the 6 over 1. Keep the denominator here. And 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. When I add or subtract, I must have a common denominator. This time I notice that the small denominator divides evenly into the big denominator, which means the big denominator is my good common denominator. Now for the numerators. What do you multiply times 1 to get itself? Is 5. Multiply the numerator by 5. And what do you multiply times a number to get itself? Is 1. Multiply the numerator by 1. Now keep the common denominator. Subtract the numerators. 30 minus 16 is 14. Let's change that improper fraction back into a mixed number. How many times does 5 go into 14? It goes in 2 times. 2 times 5 is 10, and 14 minus 10 is 4, so 2 4/5. Got it. For number 3, we multiply, but first change everything into improper fractions. Keep that denominator. 5 times 4 plus 1. 8/9. I'll just copy that. Now when I multiply, I do not need common denominators. I am allowed to reduce tops and bottoms. Reduce any top with any bottom, like the 4 and the 8. Divide by 4, divide by 4. I can also reduce the 21 and the 9 because they're both divisible by 3. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Now multiply the numerators and multiply the denominators. 7 times 2, 1 times 3. That's a good answer as an improper fraction. Let's change it back into a mixed number. 3 goes into 14 4 times. with 2 left over. Beautiful. For number 4, on this division problem, I'm going to start by changing both fractions into improper fractions. Keep the denominator. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. Keep the denominator. 1 times 9 plus 1 is 10. Now division of fractions becomes multiplication so long as we take the reciprocal of the second fraction. Let's look to reduce. Any top with any bottom. This time the 3 and the 9 reduce nicely. Divide by 3, divide by 3. There's no other reducing to do. So multiply the numerators, 11 times 3. Multiply the denominators, 1 times 10. Let's change that into a mixed number. How many times does 10 go into 33? 3 times, with 3 left over. Got it. All right, your turn. Go work some homework problems, and I'll see you later on today.